I'm always ready for tips and bits.
Oh boy,
That sounds wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to Tips and Bits, not only will you see a back catalogue of episodes where we go back and regale some of the highlights of the week, but GG, in his expert role of being like a Perry White, a Jonah Jamesons of sorts, will pick out some positively tantalizing news articles.
I think based on my like looks and how I react, I'm more J. Jonah Jameson than I am Perry White. But yes, it's good. Thanks, Zane. Thanks for that. Yeah, cool. All right. Do you want me to do the intro myself, or do you want to like cue it up?
You ready?
You've
for this
forgotten
one?
all of this.
I have forgotten so much, and I did this last week as well.
Give me the soundboard back. I'm just going to sing it in a minute, Zane. I'm just going to sing it. What a shambles this one's been. We need to get back into our flow.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it.
Bits, tips and bits. Come on, everybody. It's tips and bits. There you go. That was really loud as well. Blimey almighty. Sorry, everyone's ears. I wasn't expecting that to come out as loud. Right. So, yeah, we look at this week's, some of this week's news. Not all of it, but we have a little deep dive into a bunch of little things that I've picked out. Zane, I do it every time. I'll give you the choice. Marvel, DC, Misk. Which do you want first?
Can I go for the Misk?
Oh, you can. There's a lot of Misk this week.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Misk this week. Okay, so Stranger Things. It's been back. It's coming back again in July. One of the breakout stars of Stranger Things, without any doubt, has been Millie Bobby Brown. A new repeat. What?
I thought for a second there, I was like, he surely doesn't mean this season. Like of the whole thing. Yes, she is the breakout.
Yes, yeah. Of this one season, she is the breakout star. Yeah, no.
Took her 4 years.
Yeah, it took her a while to really hit home with the audience, but she got it this season. Thank goodness. No. So this is a rumor that's been shared. So take it with a pinch of salt, but it's quite a tantalizing rumor. But it's shared via sffgazette.com. It was actually originally reported by the Mirror Online. It said that Millie Bobby Brown is currently in talks with Disney to join and lead a future Star Wars project.
Oh.
Millie is on Disney's radar for the new Star Wars projects. She's apparently had contact with Kathleen, who is aware of her desire to feature in a movie or play a central role in one of the new TV projects for Disney+. Executives know just how much of an icon she is already for get this, for the 10 to 30-year-old audience. And what that brings in terms of appeal. She doesn't need to audition. It's more a case of how the director and her bond. She has the gravitas to hold down the lead for that universe. So, looks like Bobby Brown might be being groomed a la Carrie Fisher for a bit of a Star Wars. I didn't mean it like that. It looks like Millie Bobby Brown might be selected as a central part a la Carrie Fisher for Star Wars in the future. Your thoughts on this and what she could potentially be playing?
Ooh. Two things come to mind. The first one is she's no doubt going to just do hand, like, held up to screen.
Jedi, isn't she?
Screaming, yeah. I mean, like...
There's no way she's not going to be a Jedi. Yeah, she's already basically... She's a Jedi in Stranger Things without the lightsaber.
Yeah, exactly. Force pushes.
Yeah.
The other thing that kind of crossed my mind is in... what's it called? That bloody clones task force? No, not task force.
Bad Batch?
Bad Batch, yeah, thank you. They've got Omega, the little girl who might be force sensitive. So
please no. Please no. Please get it away from that period of time. I don't want it. No. So here's a really wild out there thought. This is off the cuff. So they've done a lot of rumors recently about doing Star Wars in different time periods and getting away from the Skywalker saga, just as at that time period, which they've identified as the Skywalker saga. So 1,000 years before the Skywalker saga, you and I have talked about it on the show before. I've talked about it quite a lot. There is the Darth Bane trilogy, where it's the origin of the Rule of Two. Darth Bane's apprentice is a young woman called Darth Zana, who, if Millie Bobby Brown grew her hair out, would look exactly like her.
Oh. So
I wonder, could they be doing that? And she's going to be Darth Bane's apprentice and one of the Dark Lord of the Sith, because she it's awesome. Her concept art looks amazing as well. She uses the old Darth Maul double-bladed lightsaber, and she also has these weird, it would fit so well with what she does in Straight. I mean, they typecast her to crazy, but she has the power to generate weird dark force tendrils that can grab people, and then she chops them to pieces. So it would be it would fit in with everything that she's done so far. It would be a hell of a meaty role, because that's obviously that whole trilogy of books plays out with him starting the Rule of Two and then her continuing it by taking him out. So it would be great. So that there's an off the wall take. Here's hoping. Anyway, moving on. So I think it's world renowned. Everyone loved it. Everyone loved the ending of it. Game of Thrones, right?
Oh yeah.
So there's been an absolute ton of rumors coming out about projects that are in development after Game of Thrones. We know that the House of the Dragon is coming. Got Matt Smith in it, as well as Rhys Evans and a bunch of other people. It actually looks surprisingly very good. But we have had revealed this week. It turns out he doesn't know nothing. He does know something. Kit Harington is making a spin-off show revolving around Jon Snow. Amelia Clark has confirmed this week in a BBC News interview, with the direct quote going, "He has told me about it and I know it exists. It's happening. It's been created by Kit, as far as I can understand. So he's in it from the ground up. So what you will be watching, hopefully it happens, is certified by Kit Harington." And then asked if she was going to be in it. She was like, "No, I think I'm done." I wouldn't be surprised if she is done, to be perfectly frank, because she did not. I know that a lot of them weren't happy with the way that the series ended. Now, the only thing that I will say, there's kind of been a bit of confusion about this, because I've heard some rumors saying that it's a sequel to Game of Thrones, where it's going to take place after Bran is sitting on the throne and all that jazz. Then I've heard people say it's a prequel, where it's going to explore him growing up in the North. So I'm not sure. I think it was a prequel from what I can gather, but then it also raises the question of, well, Kit Harington's getting quite old now. So is it still Kit Harington playing Jon Snow, or what are they going to do? Possibly they'll do a bit of both, maybe. Maybe it'll be like a sequel with flashbacks, almost in an Obi-Wan-esque situation. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Are you excited to see more Game of Thrones? I know that you loved the ending, didn't you?
Oh man, it's weird, because I remember hearing so many rumors and stuff saying he's so done with the role. I think in interviews he said he can't wait to cut his hair, because part of the role is that he has to grow his hair out long and all that jazz. So I'm really surprised that he's going back, more than anything. But at the same time, as terrible as it sounds, my parents still buy the Game of Thrones DVD box sets. They're that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they love it that much, and sometimes they'll just rewatch it as well, which really surprises me.
It was really good until the last season. And even in the last season, some of the last season was great. The battle for
Battle of Bastards.
That was not the last season, but
oh no.
Oh God, what's the name of the Starks compound? Winter something. Oh God,
I'm lost.
Zane. You know where the Starks live in the north?
Yeah.
What their town is. Oh, I need to look it up. Look it up, guys. I'm sorry, because that's going to drive me crazy. But basically, where that big battle that takes place with the White Walkers.
Yeah.
That in the final like final episode, and it was like it's kind of like all in darkness kind of thing, but it looked amazing.
Yeah.
North Stark Town. I'm typing in Game of Thrones North Stark Town. Talk amongst yourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's going to be a hot take.
Winterfell. That's what the name of the thing is.
Winterfell.
Of course it is. I kept wanting to call it Winterhold. It's Winterfell. Yeah, the Battle of Winterfell, where the White Walkers come and attack everyone. That's great. Like, that's really good in the last season. Although the way that the Night King falls is slightly dubious. But yeah, apart from that. Anyway, yes, very good.
Here's a hot take. Do you think he's doing it to kind of rekindle his career? Not to say like it was over, but
no, not at all. No way.
Don't think he's had the same sort of level of success as, say, your Jason Momoas or your Emilia Clarke's after this.
It's slightly different. I mean, Jason Momoa left after the first season and was hot as anything. Emilia Clarke I would not say that Emilia Clarke has had a great career following Game of Thrones. I mean, she's been in the worst Terminator film of all time. And then name me something else that she's done apart from romantic comedies.
I was just going to say there was like a rom-com Christmas movie that came out like a year or two ago.
Yeah, she's done bits and pieces. I think she's done some stuff for the BBC as well. Both of them are about to hit huge with Marvel projects, aren't they? I mean, Emilia Clarke's going to be in Secret Invasion, and then Kit Harington is the Black Knight. And that, like, I think give him a chance after he's had a proper stab at that role, and then if it's not up to snuff, then I agree. He's probably going back to rekindle stuff. I honestly think that there were a lot of people, including the cast members, that were extremely disappointed with the end of Game of Thrones. You know, there's lots of documented interviews where they get asked beforehand, "Oh, you've read the final. What do you think of the final?" And they're all just like, "It's great." And like, you know, I think he was definitely one of them. And it could just be a case of wanting to creatively cleanse that palate, you know, of the horrible aftertaste that the rushed final season was. Yeah, that's my take on it anyway. But yeah, anyway, I we'll see how good it is.
We'll see.
Last bit of miscellaneous news then. So obviously we're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi this week. But one of the other big entertainment properties that was set in that time was Star Wars Fallen Order. And are you okay? You're very
trying to remember it.
It's the one that's got yes, the video game. It's got Cameron Monaghan in it. Now, rumor is circulating that Cameron Monaghan is, in addition to doing Jedi Fallen Order 2, which he is doing, former Collider host Christian Harloff on his YouTube channel has circulated this hot rumor that Monaghan has apparently signed on to play fan favorite Force wielder Cal Kestis in his own live action Disney Plus TV series.
Hey.
So this will be set roughly around the same time as Obi-Wan Kenobi is set. It obviously takes place before The Mandalorian. Thoughts on this one, Zane? Are you excited? I was going to say the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order is Jedi Survivor, I think it's called, which is coming up very soon. And this one will probably take place at the same time around Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think I said that already. Ewan, I almost called him Ian McGregor, has confirmed that he would like to do more Obi-Wan Kenobi stuff. He said that in an interview, as has Hayden Christensen. Would you like to see this? Would you like to see Cal Kestis and what happens to him in a live action version?
Yeah, it makes sense in a lot of ways. He's a great actor. I mean, I haven't watched all of Gotham for various reasons, but you know, from
he is the one in Gotham, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the Joker of sorts.
Jared.
Um,
He is
but yeah.
he is the Joker in the end. He does.
Oh,
become the Joker
they convert.
yeah, they do make him the Joker in the end. Yeah,
Of
not
course.
that character. That character dies, and then but
His
the same
twin,
actor.
I think I heard. Yeah, beautiful. He's a decent enough actor, and why not? It just makes sense. Like with the way that game played and everything, and it's technically canon because it's here after the
canon.
Disney acquisition and such. So it just makes sense.
Yeah.
I really hope they give him an orange lightsaber as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool. They went through. I saw some article where they've canonized what the lightsaber colors actually mean, because there's always been a lot of talk about like, oh, what do the colors represent and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I saw this article somewhere where Disney had gone through and like basically said yellow means Jedi Guardian or whatever. They're the guardians of the Jedi Temple, so only the
cool.
yellow lightsabers used by the Jedi, and like obviously red is the bled kyber crystals that Sith use, and blue is like Jedi Guardian and stuff like that. So like they went through and like listed all of them. I can't remember what cool. Mace Windu's one. Baddest mofo.
A deal with George.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the deal breaker. That's what the lightsaber's officially called. The deal breaker.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I'd be very excited to see that. So, Marvel or DC? We've only got one piece of DC news this week, and maybe we should get it out of the way.
Let's get out of the way.
You and I both know exactly what it's going to be.
Let's get out of the way.
All right. So, one of my favourite topics on the show to talk about. He seems to crop up every single week. Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Ezra Miller, they have been in some really hot water recently, and you know what, it just gets hotter and hotter for him, because this week there's been some more disturbing allegations about Ezra Miller, including child endangerment, Zane. So Rolling Stone has reported that the Flash star Ezra Miller is currently hosting a 25-year-old mother and her 3 young children at the Vermont farm. However, the father of these kids and at least 2 other people have expressed concerns about the situation. It's alleged that the actor's farm is unsafe for children, with guns said to be strewn around the home. One person has even claimed that the 1-year-old girl came across a loose bullet and put it in her mouth. I'm trying to keep it light, guys. The site has also been shown video footage with at least 8 assault weapons, rifles, and handguns lying around Miller's living room, some of which were propped up against stuffed toy animals. It was also alleged that there had been heavy marijuana use in front of the kids without any sort of proper ventilation. Miller is said to be growing at least 28 different strains of the drug on his farm, despite not having a license to do so. There is a lot more that I could go into. Quite dark. I won't do it. I mean, this guy, like, what is going on with this guy, Zane? Like, he's... worryingly, in this article, it says Miller appears to have developed a fascination with children, as a number of allegations of inappropriate behavior have been made against them, with some parents even taking out various restraining or protection orders. One 12-year-old even said Miller left them feeling uncomfortable after he accused their mother of wanting to drink his blood, among other things. The guy's insane. Are we really going to continue with this guy as the Flash? I know that Warner Brothers are reportedly now looking to cut him out of everything and just do the Flash movie and that's it. But I mean, surely this is the end of the road for Miller, right?
Yeah, and I guess the thing...
I've given you nowhere to go with this news story, have you? Have I? I've given you absolutely nowhere to go.
It's just kind of like, what does this mean for the movie? I think that's what everyone's kind of wanted to understand. Like, besides obviously the legal action and everything else, everyone wants that to happen. I mean, at this point, you may as well send Dog the Bounty Hunter, but
yeah, absolutely, but not as a friend.
But it's just kind of like, what does this mean for the movie? Like, are they just going to have to dump it on HBO Max and fingers crossed? Are they going to have to rethink their whole sort of strategy when it comes to merchandise? Because they're not going to want to sell lunchboxes with Ezra Miller Flash
No
on the.
kidding.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Child pacifiers with the Flash on it. That's not a good look.
I mean, there was a lot of questions about. I don't know if you saw it. There was a comic book that came out maybe
Yes.
a week or two ago.
Did it actually? I thought it got pulled. I thought it was. Yeah, it's what's his name? Andy. I was going to say Machete. I'm going to call him that from now on. Andy Machete, the director of the Flash. He made that comic book, didn't he? With
He did,
Ezra Miller in it.
Yeah.
But isn't he like naked in it and stuff?
I mean, it to a degree.
Herogasm?
Not to that degree.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's just bad. They recast. They need to recast. There's no two ways about it. Absolute 100% recast.
But then, do they reshoot? Like,
I think what they'll probably do is I think they'll shift focus from marketing it as the Flash. I think they might change the title of it. I think they might change it to like Flash and the DC Multiverse or something like that, and then have it more featuring marketing with Keaton and the co-stars who were in it, as opposed to focusing it around Ezra Miller. And then you can kind of get away with, well, we're not promoting him. It's just he happened to be in it. You know, it's really tough. Yeah, it's the same way they kind of like Amber Heard had all that drama around her when Aquaman came out, and all the marketing for Aquaman. Unfortunately, it's slightly different in that Momoa was the lead in it.
Yeah,
but like she was barely featured in promotional material. She's just in it, you know. So yeah, it's tricky. I think that again, Amber Heard, Ezra Miller, recast, move on. I would love to see Emilia Clarke as Mira. I think she'd be great at it. And I you know, the Flash is. I don't know who you could get to be the Flash, frankly. Like at the moment, at this point in time, I really do think move away from Barry Allen, even though he is like the main Flash. But like, go with Wally West, go with Bart Allen, go with somebody else. The time has come to get some distance from Barry, and see where. I mean, you're already teeing up for replacing Superman with Supergirl, or that was one of the rumored plans. So, you know, do something like that. Replace him with Kid Flash.
Exactly.
Not that kind of. That sounds weird. After that article, that sounds weird.
Oh,
right. Anyway, Ezra Miller's got a few lying around, it seems. Anyway, let's move on. So, Marvel news.
Marvel.
He'll cut that. It's fine. He'll cut that. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It is the sequel, Across the Spider-Verse, is coming out very soon. Across the Spider-Verse. We had promotional material coming out this week, and it turns out that the C-list villain, the Spot, will be the main bad guy in this film. Director Joaquin Dos Santos has explained the thought process behind choosing this big bad in a special featurette that they did. I'll read the direct quote. Pretty early on, we knew the Spot was going to be our main villain. Without an awesome villain who sort of can understand with their through line, who you can sort of understand with their through line, you don't really have a strong story for your main character. So he's an awesome sort of opposite to Miles. And his living ink really is just, I think we've all been saying it, it's not just an effect. It's artistry come to life. It's something that can only really happen in animations. So the Spot, the only reference I have for the Spot is these Amazing Spider-Man cartoons from the early 90s where he was a villain on that. And he was basically a scientist who had it's one of those original tropes where it was the scientist who had an accident in the lab and a bunch of dimensional portals attached to him that he can then use and basically create dimensional portals for all kinds of different things, like making Spider-Man punch himself. So
you know, that old trope.
That old trope. No, that original trope. Contradictory in terms. So Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Spot being a bad guy? I'm happy that they're using someone new. Honestly, I really am,
Mm.
because I think they've, you could easily rehash Green Goblin or somebody again, but I'm happy that they're doing this. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds like they're really kind of pushing themselves in terms of like what else could he potentially do? In a sense, like he is trans-dimensional, and we're doing an adventure, that is trans-dimensional in a weird way. So it kind of makes sense. Like, hey, let's take
Way to
this.
tee yourself up, Zane.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's interesting. Like they'll pluck him, and I guess in a way similar to the way that the PS4 Spider-Man game took Negative Man and kind of like
Yes.
gave a whole new life to that villain and character and stuff. So yeah, I'm really interested to see what they'll do there.
Take note, movie studios. There is a way of doing these baddies in a new, original, fun way, and not just completely changing their origin, a la Craven the Hunter that came out this week, which I haven't put on the article, but I read it and I was just like, "You disgust me, Sony. You absolutely disgust me." Did you see that this week, Zane?
I haven't, but in the same breath, like they've taken El Muerto and
El Muerto.
is that that's
El
the
Muerto.
the villain, isn't it? The
Yep.
luchador
Oh yeah.
that's appeared in 2 comics and getting his own solo project.
I have to. Right. I'd forgotten about this Craven news, but I'm going to bring it up now because I completely forgot about it.
Okay.
And it's awful. It is absolutely awful. Listen to that. Right. Okay. So this was. So I'm gonna. This wasn't in my original list of news, but I'm going to add this in because I've just remembered it, and it's so bad that it. So
Okay.
Variety did an interview with Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is the star of the Craven the Hunter film that is coming up. And Aaron Taylor Johnson has described, and I will quote this. This is his description of how he is playing the famous animal hunter, Craven the Hunter, who famously comes to New York to hunt the deadliest prey, which is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
This is a direct quote from Aaron Taylor Johnson on his portrayal of the character. He's just a hunter, a human with conviction, an animal lover, and a protector of the natural world. He's a very, very cool character.
A protector of the animal world?
And he's just a hunter, a human with conviction, an animal lover, and a protector of the natural world.
Oh, of the natural world. Okay.
That is how Craven the Hunter is being portrayed in the Sony Aaron Taylor Johnson film. This is the same guy who wears a lion fur for a vest. He's a real animal lover, folks.
Loves them so much that he
wears them.
Has to have them on his bare skin.
Yeah. Doesn't that sound great? 2 thumbs up, Sony. If it turns out to be amazing, then I will eat all of these words. But I can't. You can't have. Stop doing bad guy movies without Spider-Man. It doesn't work. You have to have that establishing thing first to then make them an anti-hero. They have to be a bad guy to be an anti-hero. Anyway, sorry. Just
someone at Sony's like, look at the Venom numbers, though.
Yeah, I was going to say. Somebody at Sony's like, we've got them on the hook. They're definitely going to watch this. It's controversy breeds cash. That's what it is. Come on, we've got to
wait for that Morbius cameo. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Wait for the Vulture to turn up in it. It's going to be amazing. They're going to love it.
It's going to be so good.
I can't fight you. You're a Vulture, and I'm an animal lover.
It's going to break so many records on Apple TV.
Yeah. And then we're going to re-release it 3 times just to get people in, even though nobody will go the second and third.
The memes are going to be trending.
Did you see they're trying to get it re-released again? Did you see that
No, they're not.
It's like, yeah, they are. So so for those of you who are not aware, Morbius was re-released in cinemas because it got so much popularity on Apple TV, and unfortunately, it seems like Sony misinterpreted the hype around it for what was a joke to be serious, that people wanted to see it back in the cinema. So they re-released it in the cinema, and I think it made something like $30,000, like absolutely nothing on the second re-release, right? And then there's another campaign now that's gone out going, sorry, Sony, we were doing something else. Please re-release Morbius again. If they release it again, I'll cry. I'll cry with laughter. It'll be amazing. Anyway, there you go. That's a good Sony rant for the week. So, moving on now. So we've got Chris Evans. Chris Evans is going to be doing a villainous turn in the Russo brothers' The Grey Man.
Ooh, yeah.
But MTV News caught up with the actor to discuss where his career could be heading next. And in a similar way to Millie Bobby Brown, he'd be very open to joining the galaxy far, far away.
Wow.
And the direct quote from Chris Evans is, God, would I love to be in Star Wars? I mean, I would do anything. Even if it was just a stormtrooper, I'd be thrilled. And then he goes, yeah, I'll take a Wookiee. A Wookiee's fine. Just put me in it. I'll do it. I'll take it.
Wow.
So he sounds quite desperate to get into Star Wars. You excited to see potentially Chris Evans showing up in a galaxy far, far away?
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's kind of like, but what role? Because he could almost do anything. He could be a Jedi. He could be a Sith. He could be a smuggler. He could be a bounty hunter. Like, there's so many ways you could.
I don't know what they. I think I'd quite like to see him in that rogue kind of smuggler type. Working for the Rebel Alliance, kind of a Poe Dameron-esque character is what I would like to see him as. I don't really want to see him as a Jedi or a Sith. And I think it's very easy to just throw around. I could be a Jedi. I could be a Sith. But I'd quite like to see some more nuanced stuff in the Star Wars. Actually, you know what? I went back and rewatched Solo the other day.
Yeah.
Not actually that bad.
Yeah.
Upon a second watch, some terrible things in it, like his name, terrible, but like actually not that bad, and it gets kind of pooed over, and it's like I don't think it deserves to be as pooed over as say Rise of Skywalker or Attack of the Clones. It's actually all right. Like it's got some really good bits in it that are much more memorable than I thought at the time. So plus the inclusion of Darth Maul at the end is amazing. But yeah, I'd quite like to see Chris Evans in like a smugglery bounty hunter dodging universe.
I'm just thinking like, his previous role in say Fantastic Four as Johnny Storm, where he's that kind of cocky, kind of but lovable, easily a smuggler. Yeah. But then I don't know if you've seen a movie called The Losers.
Yes, I have,
where they're like mercenaries. So I'm just thinking like, again, bounty hunter kind of vibe and stuff. Obviously, we already got that with Mando, but
Mando's not. Mando's a bounty hunter, but they make him from a very early on a bounty hunter with a heart of gold. So it's kind of just like I don't really want to see that again right now. Plus, the Mandalorian is so fundamentally cool. Mando's Jindarin is so cool. Like it's just awesome. And I would much rather. I think honestly, Chris Evans can go two ways. You either cast him as you did in Captain America, where he's very straight laced, in which case put him as a Jedi, or have him like that Johnny Storm rogue type of smuggler, because like bounty hunting is too dark, really, because you've got to kill people or capture them, and it's like it can get a bit. I know there are light-hearted bounty hunters and stuff like that, but it can get a bit kind of like bogged down in morality. Whereas a smuggler, he's just smuggling stuff, isn't he? Against the Empire. So why not?
It's all a game.
Or against. Exactly. There you go. So yeah, I'd love to see Chris Evans in Star. It seems like everyone develops from. They either go from Star Wars into Marvel or Marvel into Star Wars. It's like it's the weirdest thing. Like look at Emilia Clarke. She was in Solo and now she's in Star Wars. Like Paul Bettany was in Marvel and then he was in Star Wars and then he's back in Marvel again. He's all over the shop.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen, exactly. Mads Mikkelsen. It's ridiculous. It's like everyone's got the same Rolodex with all these actors in it from Disney. All right. So final bit of news this week. We have had an interview with Doctor Strange and
vampire.
Yes, that's right. How did you know what we do in season 4 is coming out? No, what we do in the shadows even. No, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Benedict Cumberbatch. He's been doing the rounds. Multiverse of Madness has so far grossed $944 million, just short of the billion. However, that is incredibly good considering it's still post-pandemic era. We're still dubbing it that. And it basically all but guarantees that there will be Doctor Strange 3.
Cool.
During an interview with the New Indian Express,
Oh.
Benedict Cumberbatch was asked about potentially returning for the threequel, and he's made his interest in continuing Strange's story known. A direct quote from the actor is, I hope so. I would love to do another one. Doctor Strange is such a complex character, and it feels like there's so much more to explore with him. He is such a brilliant character, and I'm still having a wild time playing him. They then pushed Cumberbatch and asked exactly who would be a good team up for him. And I'm going to go out on a limb, guys, and say this is very tongue-in-cheek for what he says. And he says, I rather like the idea of him popping up with Banana Man. I was a big Banana Man fan as a kid, and I like the idea of us going there to see what he's been up to. Your thoughts on Doctor Strange 3 and possibly where we could see it go, Zane?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I think he's already done like 9 movies, right? Because he's done obviously the first Doctor Strange, Infinity
Doctor
War,
Strange 1,
Endgame,
Infinity War, Endgame, Spider-Man. 5. He's done 5, and Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
I don't think he's been in more than that. He was supposed to be in WandaVision, but then he didn't turn up in WandaVision.
And he wasn't in Civil War or anything like that.
He was not in Civil War, no.
But yeah, he's racking through these movies like crazy. But at the same time, he's become a real fan favorite. Not to say Doctor Strange wasn't before, but I think like these last couple of movies, he's kind of broken the glass ceiling in terms of, you know, he's more in the zeitgeist more than ever now.
They needed that lightning rod around somebody to build the next phase of the MCU, like Robert Downey Jr. I'm not suggesting that he's more charismatic or less charismatic than Downey Jr., but they needed that focal point. So I think he's great. I think he's really good.
I bloody love it, and I'm really me personally.
Thanks for
I
that full-on West Country accent that came out there. I
bloody
love it. I tell you what, my darlings.
This week I've been mostly watching.
This week I've mostly been fantasizing about Benedict Cumberbatch.
I want to see more magic stuff, as crazy as that sounds. Like, I really want to see...
You're going to get it, aren't you? Because they just introduced Clea.
Sign me up, because I want to see more magic. Yeah.
I will say, I have watched the first episode of Miss Marvel. I'm actually wanting to see more of that world because it's really good. It's really, really good.
That first episode's a charmer. Like,
it's fantastic. Yeah. It's absolutely fantastic. So, sign me up to that as well. Like, I don't know where they're going. Feige did an interview. I was going to bring it up on the show. I didn't bring it up, but Feige did an interview basically this week saying the next couple of months. Because everyone was wondering where the MCU is kind of going as far as directions are concerned. Because by this point in time, they'd introduced kind of rumors about Infinity Stones and stuff like that in Phase 1. And then obviously at the end of Avengers, we actually saw Thanos appear. And so everyone knew, they're interpreting the Infinity Gauntlet. That's what they're doing. They're doing that storyline. Whereas this time, everything seems a bit all over the place, and you kind of have several big bads. You've got the multiverse going on. What are they doing? Are they going Mephisto? Are they going Kang? Where are they going with this? And Feige confirmed in an interview that this is currently coming up to the end of Phase 4, and he said that in the next few months, so as of recording this, it's the end of June, we're about to have Thor: Love and Thunder come out. As of the next few months, we will know exactly where the MCU is heading. So that either means something massive is going to happen in Love and Thunder, or a lot of speculation was the Wakanda Forever trailer is supposed to be coming out.
I think it's going to be shown at the end of Thor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll know exactly what's going on once that comes out, because that's going to be apparent. Like that, I guess that's like rumors. Obviously, the rumor of the Atlantean War with Wakanda, circling, and then Civil War kind of caused this big rift in the middle of like phase 2 or 3. I can't remember which phase it was in. And yeah, it wrote everything for the split for them to all come back together. So I don't know. I can only assume they're going to do Kang. It has to be Kang, really. I don't. It's funny you say that. Actually, I'm wondering if they might have a Quantum Mania trailer at the end of Thor, because he's supposed to be in Quantum Mania, and it would reveal him as Kang the Conqueror. So maybe that's where they're going to go with it. It just, I don't know. It's weird because Kang's a time guy, but then they're doing all this multiverse stuff. So then it's kind of
God
like
stuff as well, aren't they? I mean,
yeah,
the way you look at it, yeah.
My God, the Love and Thunder trailer looks so good. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. There was that interview this week with Christian Bale where somebody asked him, like, how does it feel to be in the MCU? And he didn't know what MCU stood for.
Oh,
God. And so he was like, you what, mate? There ain't nothing in me. He's like, he's so good.
I love
I'll be honest with you, mate. I had to be told what the MCU was. I absolutely. He also I know. I read this interview where he was also talking about. He had to double check with Taika Waititi to make sure that he wasn't just going to be wearing the Gore the God Butcher thong the whole way through the film, which is why he's in robes.
I don't know if you've seen the clip, but you've got Taika walking around on set saying, "We're having a laugh, we've been dancing and all sorts," and in the background you could just see Christian Bale sat on the floor, like looking really depressed.
Yes. I think it does seem like it doesn't seem like a Christopher Eccleston situation though with Christian Bale. Like it does seem like he's had an okay time doing Love and Thunder, and it looks amazing. By the way, I did notice in the trailer when I was maybe we should do a breakdown at some point of it, Zane. But like I did notice when I went to see Jurassic World Dominion Domination, I did notice that when he's like there's a shot with Gore the God Butcher where he's walking into like what it looks like a almost like a throne room or something, and it's obviously where the Necro Sword is, but like there's loads of like black tendrils that like move out of his way, almost symbiote like. I'm not going to go into the details here, but if you guys know the backstory of Gore the God Butcher and what sword he uses, that's why I was very intrigued by it, because I was like, are they going there? Are they going there, Zane? Oh,
well, they have to pay Sony if they use that, though.
I mean, who gives a monk? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Disney are really hard on cash at the moment, aren't they? Jeez. I'm going to try and find this thing. Anyway, carry on, Zane. Carry on.
Carry on.
I'm out of news, so do what you will do what you must.
One thing I was just gonna thinking of as we were talking about Wakanda Forever. I don't know if you heard the interview with the writer for Multiverse of Madness, Michael Wheldon.
Michael Wheldon,
I think his name is.
No.
Either way, in the interview, you know the Illuminati scene, and there's a chair that's empty.
Oh, I did hear about this. Yes. Are you going to talk about Wasp?
So I heard the Wasp one this week, but a while ago I heard a rumor that the empty chair was supposed to be for Namor, but they said no because we're saving it for something else.
Yeah, I think I talked about that on the show because it was the writer said, I can't remember whether you were on it or not, or whether it was when Rinsler was on with us, but the writer basically said we wanted to use Namor, but then they told us you can't use him because we're using him for something else.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yes. Yeah. So, but no, I read that, and I also read about the yeah, the Wasp was apparently supposed to be on the Illuminati as well, and then Scarlet Witch was going to squash her. Might just squash her like a bug. Scarlet Witch. Oh, she's a crazy one. But anyway, there you go. Well, that's all tips and bits this week. That's all the news that we've got. So.